It's not the things inside my head that keep me going. Don't need someone to throw me money, they should show it. Keep chasing shadows, they're always haunting me, but I believe in something bigger, bigger than me. Bigger than me. Oh, bigger than me. Bigger than me.
I don't know where it is. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll What's up, YouTube? Alright, so today is Wednesday, we're in the middle of the week. It's halfway through December, as you guys will know. So the gym's actually getting busier, considering we're heading into summer. So just been really flat out with work lately, but hopefully towards the end of the year, I'm gonna get a little bit more time to film. And yeah, so today I'm gonna be hitting a shoulder workout. Alright guys, so before I get into doing the crucifix row, I just want to explain to you what part of the shoulder that actually targets and why we do it. So if you've never seen me do this exercise, basically it's a cable pull from the chest up to ear levels, alright? Now this targets the back half of your medial delt. So if you imagine the medial delt, so the middle section, split that into two, you got the back half and then you got the front half. If you can bring up that back half so that there's not a flat spot there, that's what's going to make your shoulder look nice and thick, 3D looking, and just really complete in general. And generally that bit is really hard to hit if you hit the sides and then you hit the rears, because that fills up with blood, that fills up with blood, and then this bit right there is really hard to target. So if you throw this exercise in at the start of your workout, A, you'll be a lot fresher to try and stimulate the muscles and connect with it, that specific section, and B, you're going to be able to actually push blood into there so that it will stimulate growth. Now, in terms of the form, when you're doing your crucifix rows, you basically want to start the weight at chest height with a little bit of a bend in the knee and tilting forward. If you stay upright when you pull back, you're going to recruit your traps a lot. So we want to put all the pressure on the shoulder. From here, you go from the chest, pull one smooth motion straight up to your ear height. Now you don't want to scoop it out and then up. Okay, you go from here, bang, catch it, 3-second down phase. A lot of people when they try this, they just throw it up and then they let go. That's a big error. You basically want to hold on to that tension for as long as you can. So make sure that when you do it, you grab that tension on and then you go in your head, 1, 2, 3, stop at chest level, pull it out again. Alright, I'll do it again.
Like a broken soul in a wonderland without angels. This is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Yeah, I'm incomplete.
Alright, so let me explain the no weight lateral. You guys would have seen me do that heaps of times before. Now, it's a very specific movement. It hits the same part of the shoulder as the crucifix row, but basically once you tire the muscle and it's fatigued, we want to create that drop from the top of the shoulder. Now, when you do like side laterals, for instance, and you're holding dumbbells and you go from here to here, it generally works the bottom half of your shoulder, right? If you want your shoulder to be round and go all the way up into the top of the joint, so that from up here, it has that thickness and density, this is a really good tool that you can use. So basically you tire your muscle out, you fatigue it, and then you just turn your thumbs down, keep your hands in line with your hips, and then you just pulse on it in the top quarter of the range. Don't come all the way down to your hips and then throw the hands up, because then again you're going to recruit your traps. You want to put all of that pressure on the deltoid itself. So you basically just drop it just a little bit and then just keep hitting it for about 30 reps. It will be burning. You might feel it in your traps a little bit if you've got tight traps, but generally that pain goes away after the first couple of sets. So give it a shot. I'm going to do a quick demo as to how to set yourself up for the no weight lateral. So I'll just do a side profile and then you guys can see what I'm aligning with what. So basically in terms of the tips, you want your thumbs down like I just said, and you want to keep that in line with your hips, alright? So that way it's hitting the back half of the shoulder. If your hands travel forward like this, you're most likely going to be pulling from the front of the shoulder, and you don't want that. Alright, so I bend my knees a little bit, I start with my hands nice and straight, and then I tilt forward. Then I lift my arms right up to the top of the movement, drop it just a third of the weight, and then just pulse up and down. Doing my rear delts now, so I'm going to set up the cables and I'm going to do a reverse cable fly. Basically I'll superset this with another movement. I'm going to do just a one arm cable, so bending over. Usually I'll do like a dumbbell movement, but I feel like mixing it up a little bit today. Now these movements are really good because they add a lot of constant tension to the muscle. The muscle doesn't get a chance to really relax throughout the eccentric phase and the concentric phase. So when you're doing this kind of movements, it's good to shoot for that high rep range as well, like 15 to 20, and just really burn it out, alright? Make sure you hold the reps as well, and don't just let go of them, as I've always said. Tip before I get started on this movement is that I'm going to be leaning forward the entire time, alright? I'm not going to move my hips backwards and forwards to aid the movement. By leaning forward, you get that extra stretch, and then you can just pull that weight right into the back of the delt.
Crack of dawn, I imagine you waiting by my doorstep. But it won't be long before I realize it's a picture in my head, in my head. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete.
Alright, now so essentially those two movements are pretty much the same movement. You're pulling your hand from across your body out to the side, but because you're doing the second one one-handed, it does hit it differently, so you'll be able to find that you can control it a little bit more and put that tension on for a little bit longer. So I like to just kind of do both. There's not one that's better than the other. You'll feel that on the second one, when you're holding it a little bit longer, if you pull out in front of you a little bit more, it will kind of also hit a little bit higher up on the rear delt, as opposed to the two-handed one where we're leaning forward and pulling straight back. It hits a little bit lower on the shoulder blade, like where it inserts down here, or originates, sorry. So it's just it's a different part of the rear delt. Oh, I just found my microphone. I got this new microphone the other day. It's a Rode microphone. So I'm gonna throw it on. Alright, as a last exercise for my rear delt, I'm gonna be doing a one-arm cable pull. And this is just basically mimicking the bent over dumbbell flies that we do when you do it with the supinated grip. So basically, once you turn your elbow forward like this and then pull straight up, it grabs the delt from the top half of that rear delt, and then that will basically fill in this one section through here. So when you do that cable fly, it hits the bit that swoops right around onto the back. This is just a little bit more forward. One arm at a time, pulling it up really high. Alright, now so in terms of doing my lateral raises for the medial delt, I'm just going to be doing the triple drop set of doom, which is my usual go-to exercise. I find it just works the best because there's so much volume in there. If you can do it with a really strict form as well, it's just really effective in order to add that round shape to the medial delt. My go-to tip would be basically try not to move the shoulder joint too much. Like once you start leaning forward, keep that joint isolated and just pull the elbow up to shoulder height. Grab that tension for a little bit and then just drop it under control and then keep it continuously moving. If you can keep it really isolated and do 15 reps, 15 reps, 15 reps, that will really burn and that will really stimulate the muscles. Alright, so the first thing to do is basically pick 3 weights that you can do at least 15 reps on. So you don't want to go too heavy. You're going to get the volume in by doing the drop sets, so you don't have to worry about just smashing out rep after rep after rep. So just go for, like, say, I'm going to use the 10s, 7.5s and 4s. So line them up, get them ready to go, and then just start smashing out those reps. Alright, so for the final exercise, I'm going to hit the front of the delt. Now, you want to make sure that throughout one exercise, you're doing a heavy compound movement. So if you have it at the front or the start of the workout, it doesn't really matter, but you want to make sure that you do something that you actually have to use your central nervous system to fire 100%. So I'm going to do some dumbbell presses, and I'm going to superset that with a front rope raise, and then I'm going to throw in a third exercise. I'm going to do the 45-degree dumbbell raise. So 3 exercises, but the first one's going to be really hard and heavy, and then I'll get the volume into the exercise after that. Oh yes! Get it, son! Let's go, bro. Come on, push. Get it. Come on, Eddy. Up. Easy. Come on, bro. Get this one. Get this one. Ah, I got you. Let's go. 4. 2 more. Come on. Get it, bro. Up. Oh, yeah. Oh, that'll get it firing. Thanks, bro. Alright, so you would have noticed that my hands were a little bit tilted forwards. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. So basically, if you do that, you can try and hit the front of the delt a little bit more. Square them off, that's fine. But you kind of use a little bit more medial overall, hit the shoulder overall. So because this is my last exercise, I want to try and isolate that front delt a little bit. Just a little bit. Now it's starting to look a little bit more complete, a little bit fuller. Yeah, 3 more sets on that, and then I'm done. Cool. Alright, so that's the end of our workout today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up on this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Underwater.